Good morning, everyone. It's about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on October 16th, 2015. I'm weather forecaster Eric Drewitz with Weather International, and across the northeastern United States right now, temperatures are mainly ranging in from the middle 40s to middle 50s, and some isolated low 60s around the coast of Long Island and New York City, as well as getting down to around Philadelphia area, as well as some isolated 30s in Adirondack Park up here, as well as in Ontario and Quebec provinces of Canada. And the winds, since the cold front passed through last night, that shortwave winds are primarily out of the western northwest, so cold air is vecting into our region. And now showing infrared satellite imagery, we see that shortwave and that cold front stretching from Oklahoma and up into the Canadian Maritimes, moving out of our region with cooler air vecting into the region behind that, as well as the southwesterly flow ahead of the front right there. And then looking at the current radar imagery, I'm going to zoom out for a second, and you can see, since we're on the back side of that front, that's right here, we have some lake effect precipitation forming off of Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and Lake Huron, and falling over portions of Michigan, as well as we have a band of lake effect precipitation off of the coast of southeastern shores of Lake Ontario. Currently looks like it's stationed over very northeastern Wayne County, northern Cayuga County, and northern Onondaga County, falling in the form as rain. Currently, the 500 millibar pattern, according to the 12Z run of the GFS initial analysis, we have a huge ridge in the west due to this high pressure system, and then we have a deep trough in the east behind that cold front, as I showed on the satellite imagery. Now, looking at the NAO index right now, it's slightly positive actually, which seems weird because usually you'd be like, well, Eric, positive NAO, well, doesn't that mean a ridge in the east? Well, I checked the AO as well, and the AO is slightly negative, but it will spike again, like have a little positive spike like the NAO right here. But the PNA right now, I think, might be more of a bigger player because it's positive, but there's more of a defined spike into this weekend. So I think the PNA is going to be the player that governs the pattern. So here's the European ensemble mean 500 millibar height anomalies, and as you see into this weekend, this is this is the 0Z run for starters, and this is 0Z Sunday. And you have real warm anomalies in the western United States, but real cold anomalies in the east. So the cold air isn't going to be that long-lived because this is 0Z Tuesday or 8 p.m. Monday Eastern Daylight Time, and by this time we have warmer air vecting into our region as that high pressure system propagates to the east, and then we're on the back end of the high, which will induce flow out of the southwest, and it'll warm things up a bit. And then looking at the GFS ensemble mean, again, cool air, cold air, and the cold anomalies in the east. This Jersey Sunday again, and warm in the west. But then the GFS shows the cold air clearing out and warmer air infecting in as that high propagates to the east by the start to middle of next week. Currently looking at the 500 millibar vorticity, we see that shortwave moving out of the region with the upper level lows spinning up, causing a trough here in the east, so cooler air in the east. But it's again short-lived, and by Tuesday it should be out of the region. European, same kind of deal, and then by Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, it'll be out. And now actually, a good way to look at this is through I don't know why the NAM's not loading in, but precipitable water values. You see the boundary, looking at the GFS here, you see that boundary right here with more moist air here and very dry air here to the north. And you see that dry air, really continental polar air mass, really just pushing into the northeastern United States, and due to that strong cold air advection pattern. I think lake effect is very likely this weekend. For Oswego, I don't think we're going to get snow, but I think we could see some lake effect showers. Inland locations in the Adirondacks could see some snow potentially. A couple inches of the white stuff. And then again, this is the European, and it shows the same thing. Cold air really, not cold air, dry air really evecting into the region. And now we're going to look at the 850 millibar temperatures, and this is the 0Z run of the European, and it shows cold air evecting into the region, northwesterly flow. Temperatures in northern New York at 850 could be, looks like to be -5 to -10, and maybe even a little lower in some isolated locations. Looking at and this is for 0Z Monday. Sorry about that. Now looking at the GFS by 0Z Monday, we have some cooler. The GFS is trending even a little colder. On 6Z Monday, we have some areas of 850 temps below -10 in the areas of northern New York. Now backtracking a sec and looking at the cloud cover and winds. So tomorrow night, 6Z Saturday, skies look to be partly cloudy. It's just some low clouds in isolated locations, but I think the clear skies and light winds, especially more so on Saturday night, tomorrow night. And this is 6Z Sunday. You see relatively clear skies over the northeastern U.S. with light winds. So I think we could see radiational cooling in these areas, especially to make it especially cold Sunday morning. And showing the GFS now, relatively clear skies again with light winds. I think areas with the 850 millibar temps this low, and clear skies and light winds areas, lower lying areas such as valleys in the Adirondack Park region could maybe even get down into the upper teens, with most locations being in the 20s. And 30s, but maybe places like Saranac Lake and those low-lying areas could see 18, 19 degrees with this real cold, with this radiational cooling effect and this cold air mass in place. And this is the 4-kilometer high-res NAM, and it shows it's trending colder than the other models showed. This is now 15Z Sunday, and it shows 850 millibar temperatures getting to even about -15 degrees Celsius, so it's looking like it should be a cold one. Now bringing up a couple of the SKUTs. This is the NAM forecast sounding. This is for 6Z tomorrow night. Oh, 6Z tonight, so 2 a.m. tonight. And we have, actually, it looks like about a 13 degrees Celsius difference between the surface and 850. We have really not much in the way of vertical wind shear, so that's really good for lake effect formation. Our thermal cap looks to be at about 750 millibars, which is good. So I think there's a chance that we're going to see some lake effect precipitation, some lake effect showers this weekend. I don't think in Oswego it's going to be snow. I think it'll be rain, if anything, in Oswego, but maybe inland locations and higher elevations in the Tug could maybe see a few flakes. But maybe more towards not so much tonight, but more towards tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's going to be much colder than tonight. And NAM forecast sounding, I don't know why it's not working for that, but looking at this is 3Z tomorrow night, and we have straight flow up until about 750. But we have, it looks like our thermal cap's not till up to, our thermal cap is above 700 millibars, as well as we have a good temperature difference between the surface and 850, definitely at least 13 degrees Celsius. So lake effect could be possible. The only skepticism I have on this is the fact that there's some sort of a shear between like 800 and 750 millibars, and as well as precipitation reaching the ground. This looks pretty dry right here, but maybe if we fast forward a little bit and see, hopefully this UT will work. I don't know why the 6C one is not working. Okay, there we go. It looks like it should maybe moisten up a bit, but yeah, it's possible. And now looking at the 4-kilometer high-res NAM here off the Penn State E-wall. Here's the Northeastern United States. And here's the reflectivity, just for fun. I mean, I'm not a big fan of always looking at the 4-kilometer high-res NAM, but yeah, it shows definitely some signals for lake effect. More pronounced over Michigan than Ontario, but I think it's definitely possible off of all the Great Lakes this weekend. But most locations are going to see rain, because, especially around the coast and the shores, because it'll be too warm for snow. Anyway, thank you for watching and your time. This is weather forecaster Eric Drewitz signing off.